Sup folks, StugeGG here with another stream replay of our playthrough of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. This one just has the investigation and the trial and the conclusion of Chapter 5, and we end it there. So next time when we play, we will start Chapter 6 and go through that until we finish the game. It's likely to be Friday or Saturday. I'll update in the Discord if you want to check it out and make that one. But I hope you enjoy this one. But I think I mentioned Kyoko dying like every single time, or I think she might be the murderer. But like I am... I turned down my headphones a little bit. I'm back to the old headphones as well. If you watch the Throne of Lies stream, I use the wireless headphones, and I can't stream or record in those. It's the muffled like sound of my own voice in my head throws me off. But I'm gonna say 90% sure that this body is Kyoko, and Kyoko's already dead. If she's not already dead, I'm gonna assume she's probably the one who killed this, and she's gonna end up dead at the end of this no matter what. So by the end of this stream, I'm expecting to have the revelation 100% that Kyoko is in fact dead. And if that's her, she killed her, and we're gonna have to put her to execution. And then we're gonna read that note she left us, and it's gonna be sad. But what ended up happening last time is we finished the trial. Sakura killed herself. We all figured that out. Hina was trying to kill everybody because she was mad because no one was nice to Sakura, but that kind of wasted Sakura's whole sacrifice thing. So we got through that. Then everyone came together. Byakuya was like, I'm not gonna kill anybody anymore. Now I'm just mad. He wants revenge. So we figured out who the 16th student was, or Kyoko did. She told us. We got sick. We were hiding this knife. And then Kyoko like ran off and did something. It turns out she'd gotten the key to the headmaster's room, or she got in the headmaster's room, which got her the key to something else. And she was exploring while we distracted, you know, Monokuma and stuff. But then we got sick and like passed out. Had a dream about ourselves saying we need to just live here. Woke up to have the 16th student in the Luchador Max. I forgot the name, even though they made us say it 20 times last stream. They were standing over us with a knife. We black out, wake up, see Kyoko standing over us, black out, wake up. Like, turns out people were trying to talk to us all night, they couldn't get in. They're worried about us. Something happened. And then eventually we came up here and saw this body. Toko, who was I think genocide or Jill at the time, went to touch the body, got blowed up. Mukuro Ikusaba, that's right. So, body blew up. She was fine. Turned back to Toko. What's the one thing that is suspicious to me that makes me think it might not be a straightforward trial is Byakuya immediately said, "Hey, don't," when like Toko or Genocide or Jack was reaching for the body. So maybe Byakuya realized, or I don't know why he would have thought it was booby trapped, but for some reason maybe he knew there was a bomb on there, and the whole thing is, well, I'm not gonna kill anybody more. I'm just out to get you. And it turns out he's actually like the one who did this, which I suppose is possible, but we'll see. I'm assuming one of the big twists here is you're like, at some point it's gonna come up that I might have done it, or Makoto might have done it, and he's gonna be like, yeah, I might have, I don't know. So he's really actually gonna have to prove that he didn't do it, but I think he's gonna openly offer the fact that he might have done it. But let's get into it, because we're on a limited schedule here, so we gotta look at all the pieces. Okay, there's a knife. Is this? Yeah, well, yeah, it's the same. Well, I suppose that it might not be the same knife. When there's explosions, things might got switched around. See, what I'm still interested to see is the pink on the fingers. Is that fingernail polish or is that blood? And the whole thing is we never saw Kyoko's hands, so why would she not have gloves on here? That's a weird thing, but we matched up the pictures of the shoes, right? The shoes matched up. Monokuma finds that the knife went all the way through the body from front to back. The only other thing I might be thinking of is the explosions covering up the fact that there's two bodies, and somehow somebody switched a body at some point, which is entirely possible, but I doubt it. Okay, this knife cuts fatal injury, probably. I like this knife. Oh, sure, there's no blood on it though. Wait, is this? Yeah, it's that knife. Knife the person was holding. Actually, hold on. Oh, I can't see that again. I wanted to see the flashback. Oh, hold on. No, I'm not reading. There's just too many strange coincidences. Here we go. Okay. The hands here are different than the hands on the body, but that could just be the pink of the fingernails, but the shape looks off too. And the color looks a little bit off. Might mean nothing. The same knife was used to stab that same masked attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked, it was in kind of a trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife, and then maybe so he thinks he might have done it. This really is Kyoko. I mean, that Kyoko's the one that attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything. I guess that's true. When we got jumped going into the other room, we just assumed it was a 16th student. It could have just been Kyoko in the mask the entire time. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. Knife at the crime scene. Why is there no blood on it, though? Let's look at the mask. These look like fragments of something. They're all burnt, so I can't really be sure, but I feel like I've seen something like it before. But where? Was it there? I'll have to double check that later. I just assumed that was a piece of the mask, but it appears not to be. Okay. Let's look at the body. What I'm really worried is Kyoko's body. If I check the body more thoroughly, maybe then I'll find out for sure if it's Kyoko or not. Okay. Huh? There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They're really long. It's got a wolf? Okay, hold on. They seem like they get in the way of normal activity. Fake nails have an truth built section of your handbook. Those thing on the back for right hand. Is this a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but it looks like a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. So now hold up. So there are long nails, right? So the person who's standing over us with the knife didn't have long nails. But Kyoko, from what I could tell, never had long fake nails either. The upper half of the body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is wet. Hold on. Byakuya is also the one who made us put the fire out, rather than him putting it out. Something's fishy here. Is this Junko's dead body? Because that would certainly cover up, like the explosion you used to cover up the, all the things she got pierced with, maybe? I don't think that, I think she got probably messed up more than that. Exploded by analysis. Because the fake nails you would think Junko, but Junko didn't have a tattoo. So maybe not, maybe I'm just reading too much into that. Okay, what else we got? Look at her shoes. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it. Explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that, right? Okay. Oh, I forgot to hit tab. Oh, we gotta look at the hole. I think I have a mosquito bite on my chest. Ah, itchy. The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burnt up. There's only one little piece left. Okay. On Akuma flowers are treated as really pure plastic, and people, anyway, I don't think it's really the case. But you say that. 11 o'clock right now. Okay. Wait a minute. I need to go back and look. I need to look at something. Okay, and
serious?
I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, that's what I was about to ask. I should look back like this morning, help me remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock, as usual, as I headed for the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met with the Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to go get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then? Oh, then Toko, what time is it? When we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. That's right, it had been right around 9 o'clock. Okay, one thing I've noticed already, Byakuya freaked out when she was about to touch the body, which the bomb went off. He made us splash with water. He made a point of noting the time out loud so everyone else would take note of the time. I think you safely shared the BIOS at 9 a.m. Okay, my job's done. That's a pretty small job. But, so here's the thing. This is the panel that controls the sprinklers. They're set to turn on at 7:30 every morning, and Monokuma said the time positively could not be changed. So the sprinklers turn on at 7:30 each morning. If the body was here before then, the sprinklers should have gotten it wet. Look, I figured this out, and it's just explain what I figured out already. To mean that the murder must have taken place after 7:30, or the body got placed after 7:30, right? When all of us were together, well, Hina and I were together, right? These three weren't. But and Hina and I were together the entire time, so it couldn't be Hina who placed this body. Okay. I can't recall the exact events, that was the problem. Do you remember how the body looked, before it blew up? If I remember right, wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently, the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Byakuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was in the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it. Byakuya's looking suspicious. Well, thanks, that was a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Letting me talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot better too. So thank you too. He was very adamant about not touching the body. If Junko had a hand tattoo, I'd almost would have said, hey, this could be Junko's body that he's putting a bomb in, because he got a bomb out of Monokuma, right? Then he could have he could have done something with that bomb. He could have sent Toko to go put the bomb in the... We'll figure it out. But something's clearly fishy here. But Byakuya. Who's that body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not going to look. I don't want to faint anymore. Okay, now it's time to talk to you, slugger. Good time, Makoto. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
So, in other words...
I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
In other words...
I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. Why are you asking about that now? And what's nighttime got to do with it?
Naturally.
Isn't it obvious this murder took place after nighttime? How can you know that for sure? Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. Pierre's been spending most of his time in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. I confirmed that when I arrived last night, there was no body
In other
here.
words...
So the murder could have only taken place at some point during the nighttime, after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together the entire night last night. Which was also Byakuya's idea, wasn't it? Well, I'm getting suspicious. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's room to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko.
That's right.
If the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. Also, when we went to get Hina and Toko, we stopped by her room as well. But you never came to the door, so where precisely were you? I'm telling the truth, I was in my room. I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so... That's hardly an alibi. I know. So, what now? So you made it quite the disadvantage here. The only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? But we know there's that other student. Okay. We need to check... Oh. Important thing to check. How many chickens are there? There's only 4 chickens. Of course that was going to be a thing, because I kept mentioning 5 chickens. Huh? 4?
Yo!
What's going on, Makoto? I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were? Of course, there are precisely 5. They mentioned it 10 times.
Huh?
What's wrong? Well, now there's only 4. There's only 4 chickens here now. We're 1 short. He's freaking out. That's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared. I was down here just before nighttime last night, and there were definitely 5 chickens then.
What?
What are you gonna do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of the world.
Conspiracy!
Like a jigsaw puzzle, if even a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. I did my best to ignore here and focus on the problem at hand. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? Okay. Let's head back here. Take a look at the tool shed just to be sure. Room is dusty and disorganized. Another word, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. Is this a tarp? Wait, was there a tarp in here before? Should probably look into that. It could be related to the case. I don't see anything else important to look at besides the tarp. Everything else was already there. Actually, I should look to see if fertilizer was missing. Top is wet and covered with mud and grime. But the underside is totally clean and completely dry. So is there a tarp over the body so it wouldn't get wet? And then somebody came and took the tarp off? Which would have had to have been Toko because he told her to go do something. But she wouldn't have been able to because she would have seen the blood and she would have come. She's the one who found the body. What am I saying? Because I was going to say she would have had to come back as Genocidal Jack, which she did because she found the body. Okay. Starting to piece some things together. Something about that bothers me. Tarp has been added. It's the one thing in here that concerns me. But there's nothing else in here since I can leave. I think I've checked everything I need to in this area, but I'm not done yet. Other areas I need to check. Specifically that fragment I found before. There's somewhere I need to go and work for my suspicions. I still need to find out more about Kyoko. Is that corpse really Kyoko? If that's true... I mean, this hand doesn't have the fingernails. But also Kyoko who attacked me last night. If I can find out more about her, maybe I can answer that question. Kyoko is not the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. The key to her room... Oh, and Byakuya, he's been setting this up for a while.
What?
I feel like he's been setting this up for a while. He got her key.
Just give up.
Well, Byakuya, that's a strong play. And I shifted very quickly to thinking Byakuya is the killer here. He came out of his way and said, I'm not going to play this game anymore. Which would be something he would say to throw you off the trail of him actually playing the game still. And he's very much led things, and before he wouldn't. Byakuya, I think you might have done it, buddy. Okay. I have to see if he'll let me borrow the key. Hey, give me the key. Hey, Byakuya, if you do come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it later at the class trial. Oh no, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're a prime suspect after all. Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Then, will you go with me? Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later and we'll see. Depending on my mood, I may go with you or I may not. Come back later, huh? Okay, then in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that one area. He's gonna go mess with the room, isn't he? So here's the thing, I have no idea what one area they're talking about. If I'm gonna be completely honest, the only thing I can think of is they're talking about the secret bathroom. So I'm gonna go check there. Which is second floor, right? I could be wrong, but I would assume we keep referencing that area. That's where the bathroom cleaning supplies. Also leads to the... Okay, apparently it's not. Okay, well, I was very much wrong about that. Let's go back up to the 5th floor. Or actually, let's go to the 4th floor. Go. Wasn't in here, was it? No. Dang it, I'm gonna have to look all over because I have no idea what that's referring to. Is it the headmaster's room? Oh, this is locked again. I have no idea what area they're referring to. Okay, not in here. It's not in those classrooms, I don't think. So let's go back up. That area. In here? I'm just going in rooms and then leaving, because if it lets me leave, then it's clearly not the right room. Crap. No, the bio lab was locked, right? And is this the crazy murder room? Yeah. Okay. That area. Come on. Somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that one area. They're killing me. Locked, right? Yeah, okay. That one area. I didn't check out the chem lab. I don't think I need to. I don't think that's gonna matter. I didn't go to the music room. Oh boy. This is actually where, this isn't the right floor. I didn't mean to come here. Where did I mean to go? The gym? No. I quite literally have no idea where I'm supposed to go, so I might cheat and look it up. Otherwise, like I said, I'm just gonna go back and forth. Okay, as long as it's been all four, but the bomb's missing.
You know?
Yeah, I found something. What is it? It's a bomb. Okay.
What?
That bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. Fragments I found in the garden. Oh, okay, it was a piece from the bomb. Oh, okay, sure. Okay, I've checked everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Is he actually in the garden? So, oh, the bomb though. I wish I had gone straight into this. Excuse me, I'm burping. Because this is really fishy now. I wish I remember this exact sequence to where we saw what he was doing. And can remember, like, okay, who touched the bomb? Could he have planted the bomb? Could Toko have pushed the bomb in as she reached for it? Something's fishy. You can go soon, Byakuya.
Let's go.
You want to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well, let's go. Wait for me. Byakuya walked up without a second glance. I hurried after him on our way towards the dorms. Okay. Well, and here we go. Start the key to the keyhole and then click. And it's open. Looks like it, thanks. So this is Kyoko's room. It's very plain. No trash can. I'm very important to note that there is no trash can. 6. Something on the table. It's a woodblock decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those traditional public bathhouses use them for their lockers. I wouldn't know, I've never gone to a public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that.
It's certainly possible.
If it is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks. Really, what? There's lockers in the thing, you dum-dum. I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo. Yeah, in the dojo. I couldn't remember what the room was. Okay, we'll check that out. We'll check that. Or why don't we take the key and go open it up? Here's her bed. I don't see anything interesting here, at least not as far as the case is concerned. Okay, it's our only chance to check for coins in here. Okay. Unless she's not dead. Here's the bathroom. She might have certain articles hanging out to dry. Better not look. Are you stupid? You're investigating a murder.
What?
I only come here, right? So what is it you're looking for? Nothing particular. I just thought we might find some kind of clue here. Clue that might help us understand Kyoko.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take time out of my search to come here? Sorry. Regardless, you plan on plugging around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete. Something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete. Oh, I know. Earlier, Kyoko gave me something. Don't tell him about it. Don't tell him about it. No. Huh, what's this?
It's true.
It's a symbol of my determination. Don't open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. Sure, I have it here somewhere. Don't let him see it. Found it. What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it.
Interesting.
Well, something has certainly happened, so open it. Okay. Open the envelope and look inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets.
What?
That's all that was in there? Yeah, it looks like it. Under the sheets. What could it be? Well, let's check the bed again, you idiot. But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets... What's this? I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Class 78, Student Registry. Mukuro Ikusaba.
I see.
It appears to be Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, it looks like it. What if she's Mukuro Ikusaba? And she couldn't remember anything, and she just assumed the name she had was Kyoko Kirigiri. But her name is really Mukuro Ikusaba. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she stuck in the headmaster's room, along with the key. God, you're so annoying. Fine, I'll tell you. It was a key and... Oh, so we didn't know what that was. Okay. It must be the blank that Monica was talking about. Kyoko said death without meaning was unappealing, and this is what she left behind. I don't have any time for sentimental indulgences. Herb and finish your search. Oh, okay. I made an effort to pull myself together, then look down the profile sheet. Name, Mukuro Ikusaba. Sex, female. The ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped and she had received battle training of her own volition. However, she never revealed why she decided to turn home when she did. Mukuro's profile has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. The Ultimate Soldier, a mercenary group. This doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in, it's like a completely different dimension. It's like one's nonfiction and the other sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. That's how I saw things as just an ordinary person, but then...
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. You recognize it.
Naturally.
Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. They do have their uses. I was going to read those issues. And they always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir is already...
Found it!
Whoa, I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player, and a bit player is becoming our hero. Ah, it's you.
What?
What have you got in your pretty little hand there?
What?
Uh-oh, you found her profile? So what if we did?
Hey!
Don't freak out on me. I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. In case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either. Even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice up and devour it. There's our omnivores, you know?
What?
Rule violations really so unforgivable. You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to organization and order. So is the way this person's acting is like, as a mercenary group set up on rules, so are they saying this is Mukuro Ikusaba controlling Monokuma and everything? Which is why even I, as a school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course!
Absolutely. I cannot have you complain about how unfair it all is. It all is now, can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting. About the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that. There were 16 people. When you all first got together in the main hallway back when, way back when, there were 15 people there, right? I think that's the first meeting. That first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all. Misunderstanding, are you saying?
In other words...
That's right, there weren't actually 15 of you.
Yes, indeed!
The total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16 then? We already knew this.
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school.
Okay.
The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
But they call her the ultimate despair, but that thing said she's the ultimate soldier. Getting conflicting reports here. The 16th student, Mukuro Ikusaba, she's part of the school life. So the one making all the regulations is...
Why?
Huh?
You say something? Why are you telling us this? Oh, well, because... Like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we've got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up to a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know?
Yes, indeed!
Make sense?
Well now.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Well, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kirigiri, so I'm gonna share a little secret with you. Seriously.
Hey,
Okay, now we're gonna find out about the gloves here. You know she wears those stupid gloves day in, day out, all the time? Well, don't tell me I told you, but... she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone else to see. What? Okay, now that's all you get. So that's not her up top. Because the tattoos, I mean, a tattoo is technically a scar? No, well, not really. It's changing the pigmentation of your skin. If it was like a carved tattoo, that's different. Okay. Kyo wears gloves cover a bunch of scars. Wait, so on the back of her hand, the tattoo. Wait, but no. Monokuma specifically said they were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves, to hide the scars. Which means... those fake nails on the corpse. You're thinking about Kyoko again? Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull. Don't you remember Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mukuro was a student.
That's right.
Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules of the game. But why would he tell us that? And why now? He said he wanted to make things clear so there won't be any complaints later. But the mere fact that he said that proves that Mukuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro is related to the case.
It's certainly possible.
Perhaps she's the one who killed Kyoko. What? That would explain why we would have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? She's a student, she killed someone, that would make her part of the school killing game. Mukuro is the killer? She killed Kyoko? Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began.
What?
But based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Mukuro Ikusaba isn't the culprit. This is taking a different direction than I thought he was about to take. Huh? What makes you say that? We thought Mukuro, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good point.
So, in other words...
Mukuro giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense then to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. It wants us to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. So if he was trying to get away with murder here, he would have just let it sit that Mukuro was probably the killer, right? The way you say it, it definitely does seem possible, but if it's really true, if Mukuro isn't the killer, then who is? Mukuro should be the one dead. Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. I should find out if that key and the dojo really are connected.
Let's go.
But I feel like the implication is that Kyoko's not dead. Even though I was almost sure she was because of the shoes. That might have been a misnomer on my part. Number 6, let's open it up. There are wooden lockers here. They use wooden block keys just like at those super traditional public bathhouses. So the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go to one of these lockers.
I see.
Code, you see the lock is farthest to the right.
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. And it's number 6. You understand what that means, right? I should probably use the key we found in the locker, right?
That's right.
I'll just try it. Okay. I took out the woodblock key and inserted it into the locker's metal lock. And click. The locker eagerly accepted the key and it opened. There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. What's that important? Oh, there's something else inside the locker. So what a ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. It's got blood all over it, doesn't it? Is that a blood stain?
See.
If it is, it means it must surely be related to the case. This duct tape is related to the case somehow, but how could it possibly be involved? Bloody duct tape has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I think that's all the locker has to offer for now. Something wrong?
Very strange.
Very odd, don't you think? The locker is hiding items that are clearly related to the case, but how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room? Or perhaps... Gakia? Forget it. Come on, we need to continue on to the next location. Huh? What next location?
What?
There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. Fenrir? You mean the mercenary group that Mukuro was a part of? But how are we supposed to find out about that? So Fenrir is a dog, right? It's commonly displayed as a dog. So a tattoo on the hand, you would assume is Fenrir. Hold on, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Yes, it's often illustrated as a dog. Pretty much always. Okay. Important to know. So a tattoo on the hand you would assume means that's Fenrir. So it's Mukuro that's dead, not Kyoko. So where's my girl Kyoko at? And if she did the crime... Wait a minute, there's no way the duct tape is involved in the case. The only person who could have gotten into her room is Monokuma and Byakuya, unless you're... Well, if Monokuma has a way in, you would assume Mukuro would possibly have a way in as well, and if Kyoko had found more information, she probably would have had a way to get in as well, and that's why she didn't actually care about the key, because maybe she had another way to get in. Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to do research on something? Research? Are you talking about the archive? That's right, the archive has all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to. I don't have so much time for shenanigans. Let's hurry. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Baka seemed to know the archive like the back of his hand and went straight to a shelf in the back. Ah, here we go. Quickly returned with a file in hand. Did it maybe click on you?
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How do you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you. I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times isn't that a lecture? If he's help, I had him pegged pretty quickly, but he's really pushing to help here. Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. Okay. The presence is enough to strike fear in any enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they had acquired. Some, however, believe there was a mounting internal tension within the group and they simply imploded.
What?
What is it? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. So, did anything jump out at you? It's maybe your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it, the reports are saying about where the name of Fenrir comes from, right? Right, so Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they're a member of each team. A member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad, would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? I got a tattoo of Fenrir? Could that mean... Okay. So we know the body is Mukuro then. But is Kyoko Mukuro? I don't think so at this point. Mukuro. Okay. Well, we're into the trial, so unless this trial takes 3 hours, we will be able to finish before we need to go to bed.
And yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial!
I feel I've predicted most of the trials, right? Sakura, I figured she killed herself or fake killing herself.
So, please meet up in the usual spot.
Leon was an easy prediction. Mondo I did not get. I was incorrect on that one. And I kind of figured, before the trial started, I'd figured out the Celeste... oh my god, how that Hifumi thing, kind of. This one, I mean, I guess I don't really have an idea. There's just two things I'm worried about. Why did Byakuya know not to touch the corpse? Where did the bomb go? The body wasn't wet. There's a wet tarp. Toko's the one who found it. The tarp wasn't there. She saw the blood. I'm thinking she saw the blood when she pulled the tarp off. Then would she have known to put the tarp away? Probably not. So unless Toko did it, which is probably possible. Pretend, does that mean Kyoko isn't gonna die? Then where is she? The time has come. Okay, all we can do now is try to uncover truth during the class trial. Seem that way, let's go. I feel like I'm working with Byakuya here, but I feel like I can't trust him. I feel like he's shady in this situation. Well, Byakuya and Makoto show up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We're investigating, of course. How can you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you?
Huh?
What? Are you jealous?
Hey.
Are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But... I stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen, and then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why isn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again. What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or... or what?
What?
Jesus. Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words...
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? So we're waiting for Kyoko's about to show up, right? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punch the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. Kyoko, thank you for showing up. We all heard their voice, we all spun around to look. Oof. Okay. I started off the stream by saying I was like 90% sure Kyoko was a dead body. I was wrong. I'm here and no rule's been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive? No, that's a ghost. Stop talking. you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right? Is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
Is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts on the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of you. Where were you, Kyoko? And why didn't you come talk to us? Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but it's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right. Now I've got to deal with the— okay, I hate you now. I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long. I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator, but I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you?
Correct.
So, I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or security cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down just in time to hear the class trial announcement. It took some time to go to the crime scene first. I can't go to trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
Sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? Kyoko's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section.
Just
okay.
a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before I get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation. Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her, that's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? See, I'm also debating in my head if she's the mastermind, but they said the mastermind's making up the rules. She couldn't be controlling Monokuma at the same time because she's been in the room. But I still wonder if she's the mastermind in a sense. She put like a bunch of rules in place ahead of time, wiped her mind, and put herself in the game. Is the other thing I'm still thinking is a possibility. But I'm gonna defend her tooth and nail because I was 100% sure coming into this that she either killed them or was the person who was killed. But it's starting to seem like that's not the case. If she's got an alibi, and I trust her, she wouldn't lie to us. I'm not reading this. Isn't this been the same every time? I guess that might have been different. Blind Light of Despair.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
So we never actually met the other student the entire time. Weird. Okay. I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got through that like this. Time for pointless jokes and jabs past.
Thrills,
Let's get on with the show.
chills.
So the current opened for the 5th time. A daily judgment, a daily exception, yada yada yada, daily class trial. Yes, we will save. Do we get any more skill points? No. So like, we've got everything equipped besides this, which costs 4. Okay, good enough. How many truth bullets do I have? 18. Okay. The timing still plays a huge part. Okay. I think we're ready. Maybe. We'll see.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then I'll punish everyone.
Okay, so
well,
can you do that every time, the basic explanation?
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the
This is easy.
unidentified
This is the easy
victim
part.
is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Okay, I hate you.
Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
Okay, enough of that.
She has legs and stuff.
Well, that's
Hopefully
just
Hina's not gonna be really
because
annoying this trial.
she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
This is really a thing that
Then
we have
let's
to do right now.
compare Kyoko's trait.
Her traits?
One point in the trade piece of body doesn't belong to her. And Kyoko's
I got
gloves. Yeah.
I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone
Aw, but
explained
it's
why
her,
she
like, it's
actually
her
wears
secret.
those
She doesn't want to
gloves.
tell.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me.
Yep.
Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Okay, can we just like vote for him and just all die and just end this? No, there's no way, but if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So don't make a choice, or we can just ignore him and the rest of us could come to a conclusion. Okay, okay.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
It's gonna be the tattoo on her
The
hand.
dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Bump.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Okay. What? I know the buzz Kyoko's, and I know I can prove it.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
What's still on the exploded body analysis? Was there anything here that actually matters? The upper head body remained on fire. The bottom half remained dry. I mean, do the hands count as the bottom half? Because the other thing we have, the tattoo on the right hand, which would make sense, and the other piece was what?
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it.
Maybe the
prove
fake
she's
nails?
not a ghost.
I'm
The dead
gonna
body
miss something.
wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Oh, but the fake nails didn't get burnt off.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
I guess that's what we're gonna go with.
She must have been wearing gloves.
Okay, I guess that works.
No, that's wrong. No. There's no way the corpse was wearing
Oh,
gloves.
because you can't wear gloves with nails?
Whoever it was, they were wearing fake
I
nails,
guess.
remember?
I've never worn fake nails and gloves at the same time, so I'm not
I
sure.
imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right?
So why would she have nails?
It'd be
Yeah.
pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life.
Why is she wearing the exact same shoes as you? That's my
if
question.
I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to
Mukuro
figure that out.
Ikusaba.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Alright, then we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Well, this is an easy one. Then it's gonna get really confusing.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Oh, the face. Ah.
Shoot!
I screwed that up. That's fine. That's fine.
Kyoko really is.
Then who died?
I got too jumpy.
The face was scorched beyond recognition, and there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Guess we came with the freaking tattoo. Thank you. That's what I was just trying to get at. I went early. Hopefully we'll regenerate that heart and not blow it again. We failed the trial 2 trials ago. Last time we didn't lose a heart ever.
That we can use to identify the...
What? For real?
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
A cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The
See,
key to figuring out who it was
letting me explain everything.
is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Okay, let's take it easy, Toko.
They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within
I'm surprised
that tattoo.
Byakuya is letting us, like, kind of take charge here. Right tattoo on to that information we have, victim identity should become clear. It should be this.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's
I
the
couldn't
name
remember
of the
if
military
the
group
archive
Mukuro
stuff was
Ikusaba
truthful
belonged
in
to.
itself.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each
He's gonna ask
soldier that
who's
joins
Mukuro
the
Ikusaba?
squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
According to Byakuya,
Fenrir?
we don't have confirmation from that anywhere but a French book. The image that represents Fenrir is wolf. I'm hoping he's all we have to spell here. Yeah. Well, this is a hard one.
Now I understand.
Now he understands. Easy peasy.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
I didn't know he was the child of Loki.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
You know what I just realized? If this is being broadcast like worldwide or whatever, as soon as we get out, if we all survive, right? Toko instantly arrested because she's admitted to being Genocide Jack. Pretty much. Like I'm like, so for her getting out does nothing because she'll just instantly be arrested and put in a mental hospital.
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind
No, we were
this whole
incorrect
thing?
about that.
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Someone we never even got to hear talk.
What? Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind
Yep.
at all.
It's Kyoko, but she just doesn't know
But
it.
I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate
She's the
despair
ultimate
in
soldier.
the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
Yeah, only Kyoko said that.
All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
Yep, sorry I blabbed.
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Then who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
It's kind of
Usually
weird.
when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
Correct, that's
So
right.
you're saying she wasn't an important character? which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
But she had been sleeping in the dorms the entire time, because that's a rule.
Who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
Nope.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information
Is
about
she gonna admit to being
Mukuro was
the
wrong.
mastermind right now?
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
Yeah, we gotta get through this so we can talk to Kyoko and figure out what's going on here.
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at
We'll see.
provocation.
We'll see here.
Now then, just
This is gonna get
so
really
nobody's
complicated really fast.
confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of
Yes.
us killed Mukuro?
Wait,
Yes.
no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been
Okay.
hiding all along!
Him and Hina just take turns on who's the worst person.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
So here's the thing. When they made a big deal, he made a big deal about Kyoko not being here for the trial on time. Well, Mukuro has never been here for one of the
Seriously?
trials.
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
He's gonna say it's either me or Kyoko.
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be two suspects. Me and Kyoko.
Got it! You've
That's not
narrowed it
correct.
down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime
Something's
last
still
night, I
fishy
went
here.
to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
Oh, you didn't know
That's
that.
right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have
Check him
alibis.
out. Hold on.
The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
But she knows I didn't do it.
exactly so.
The only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
I am.
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place.
This is where the sprinklers come
Doing
into
that
play.
might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
They were killed early and the body sat there for a long time. We know
Me
that.
and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Not necessarily true. That's okay.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we
Not
found
necessarily
the body?
true.
Oh, but what time did we find the body?
Around 9 o'clock.
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time? It was 9 o'clock.
I got it!
We're back
the
to the
body
5
must
parts.
have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
But it wasn't wet. Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, and he's pointing it out. The gym was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay, get the pickaxe me back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10
No.
at night and 9 in the morning.
Not necessarily.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall,
Yep,
right?
that was right around 7,
That was
7:15.
around... Oh yeah! Right around
7:30, that's fine.
I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about
And
it.
you and I were together that entire time. I know you did not do it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. You ugly. What happened between 10 p.m.? You don't have to believe the 10 p.m. thing. The body wasn't, like, fresh, okay? I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30. Okay, then it looks like the game has begun. I can't provide an alibi for that period. I just have to prove the murder didn't happen in the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Okay, sprinklers is the big thing here.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Oh, I just got an achievement for that, apparently.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Yeah, it's the sprinklers, but I didn't understand where to shoot it.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between
Was it the
10 o'clock at
7:30
night
piece?
and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Okay, I didn't think that was it. I'm very confused.
Shoot!
I'm very good.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Oh, wait, hold on. My choice, I can do the exploded body analysis, which says the bottom half isn't wet. So is that what I shoot for it? We're gonna mess this up again.
We've established a time frame for the
Okay.
murder.
We're gonna do the
It took
exploded
place
body
somewhere
analysis at the
between
7
10
p.m.
and 9
at the
o'clock.
7:30.
And Makoto
Yeah, from 10 to 7:30.
I don't.
Shoot!
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and
I'm really
Makoto doesn't
confused
have an
here.
alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
The only thing I can think is, like, do I take this?
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
I'm so confused. Like, this
We've
isn't
established
right
a time
either.
frame for the murder.
But I'm gonna do it.
It took
Place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
Shoot!
Like, I really don't
We've
understand.
established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the...
This doesn't make sense to me. So I'm gonna cheat. Cause it, like, this literally doesn't make sense to me. That makes zero sense to me whatsoever.
Yep.
And Makoto doesn't have...
Yeah, from to 7:30.
That's more than enough time. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Why wouldn't you shoot 10
established a
o'clock
time frame
with
for the
this?
murder. It took place
somewhere between 10 o'clock.
I don't understand
No,
why you would
it's wrong.
shoot 10 o'clock with sprinklers. That doesn't make sense.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock.
Because it didn't happen
It had
here.
to have taken place way later.
That's not necessarily true either. You could have covered the body so it didn't get wet. I don't
And
understand.
what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the
Okay,
garden.
I guess I was looking at that as somebody covered up the body so it didn't get wet, and then they uncovered it. But they're just gonna assume the murder took place between 7:30 and 9.
The sprinklers are set to go off
But there wasn't
right at
blood anywhere.
7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
No, that's from
Sorry,
me throwing.
Toko,
Yeah,
but you're wrong.
when I threw my bucket.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet?
Okay.
How dare
Okay.
you spew such indecent words?
Let's take it easy there, Toko. That's what, like, they go off at 7:30, but so why would I make the point, well, it had to have happened, it had to happen after 7:30, when the rationale is it could have happened any time if the tarp was wet and just covered it up. That's, just didn't make sense to present it that way.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Very confusing to me.
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I didn't prove that it wasn't sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence, and that should do it. Look it by itself, that should make it clear. Ugh, we're doing this stupid thing.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no!
Do it the easy way.
I don't know anything!
Final straight, I need to pick a truth bullet now.
How can you
Okay,
say
there's
it
only one.
wasn't the
This should prove it.
I don't know, they've only got 2 hearts left.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry?
Okay.
What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just...
We were saying that about you last trial.
The reason only the top half was wet was because
I put out the fire.
while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Did he make Toko plant the bomb? And when he planted the bomb, she turned into Genocide Jack and wouldn't remember that she had planted the bomb. Which is why when she was Genocide Jack, she touched the body and it exploded. But he wanted somebody else to touch it. He wanted Kyoko to touch it to kill, so she would die. Maybe, and that way no one else would be able to figure out. Maybe, I don't know. But Kyoko wasn't there.
Then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then.
So did
and
I
when the
completely
body was
misread the whole
discovered
tarp
at 9?
and just covering up the body thing?
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi
But now we're
after
throwing
all.
Kyoko
Good
in the
for
bus.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone, that's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me, and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Okay, that's a weird thing to say,
Which is
but okay.
why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
But you're the mastermind, Kyoko.
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Oh, what's that?
She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything.
That's a fair point.
So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
Okay, dude.
That was her motive?
No.
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
Nope.
I'm not the only one without an alibi.
Whoa.
Makoto's
Whoa.
explanation is still insufficient.
Whoa.
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean
So-
the murder happened when
So
he said
no
it.
joke. The reason why I got things wrong was because I was 5 steps ahead of everybody else.
What are you...
Because I had already realized that, and I couldn't just put that forward. I had to give an incorrect assumption so Kyoko could burn me
Because you see,
and now give the real information.
there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
I don't like that. I was faster than the game, so I got punished. Where's the freaking tarp? And where's the chicken? Where's the missing
You're
chicken?
talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp.
I knew about the tarp,
and that'd
Kyoko.
take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
Okay.
The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile,
There's
kept
not even any
perfectly
blood on it,
clean.
though?
This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
To throw the timeline off, dum-dum.
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Ooh, burn. Why would Kyoko say that? Why'd you want to make me look like the killer? No. Unless she saw me kill him and I actually am the killer. No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
Can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Was it the lack of blood around the body? Yeah, body before the explosion is what we're looking for here.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong.
Okay. I'm not 100% following yet.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used
Then
it.
why is it still doing one side? I hate
If
you.
they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
That's once she'd been dead for a while and they just threw blood on her. Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
Toko takes the sprinklers off, or takes the tarp off, puts some blood on it, which throws her into the tizzy and turns her into Genocide Jack. Would that make Toko an accomplice? And the only reason she'd be an accomplice is if it's Byakuya, and like she's doing it for him. And even though she knows that'll kill her, that's kind of weird. I guess if he ordered her to do it, I don't know, we'll figure it out here. But the way he steered things and didn't just like throw shade at somebody was really weird.
You mean someone
Like he
else's
tried to help clear
blood?
information up.
Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
That's true.
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The
Okay.
killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Oh, the chicken. They got the blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean the chicken.
I got it!
And then they chuck the
Could
chicken in
have
the
been
plant.
Chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
Now there's only 4.
But after the murder, there were only 4.
And those 4 had not moved an inch. They stayed perfectly still. They didn't spread out to fill the gap.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken? And then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Unless Genocide Jack did the entire thing. Should be weird.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still
So what
doesn't
killed
make
him?
sense.
If it wasn't the knife going all the way through them, right?
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered
why
the
wasn't there
body
any
in
actual
blood,
blood?
right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
Then why did they have to grab a chicken? If they could have
covered
been moving around. I'm confused.
beforehand?
I'm lost again.
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait.
No.
No. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
I didn't notice that till right now. Those arms aren't in those sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the
Which I
sprinklers
said.
went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
Okay. Well, I'm following this.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
Correct.
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the
It would
tarp
take
and pull the
1
coat over
minute.
the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Yes.
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up
I
till
misremember
later.
that part.
Then he had plenty of time to spare.
Why you throw me under
wouldn't
the...
you say?
Oh my god. Ah, she's roasted me with a smile.
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
What?
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound.
Oh man, she
Makoto's
is
alibi
burning
is
me alive. And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Women. Disguised dead bodies been added to the truth bowl section of your handbook.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
And Toko, technically, and you.
Serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
You're an idiot.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
Nope, she
No,
remembered
not
something.
that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Oh no, they're throwing me under the bus harder.
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the
That's the one you
Monokuma
gave
file,
Makoto.
the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
That knife's not long enough.
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife
Oh,
somewhere
no.
before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Oh boy, now we have a knife. Let's give it to Makoto. Son of a gun. Wait a minute, she told me to hang on to it. Am I getting framed by another girl?
It's
Is this
the knife
game
we
just girls
gave
messing
to
with Makoto?
You don't seem
Oh,
surprised.
Kyoko, if you do this to
You
me,
must have noticed earlier.
oh, I'm gonna be so upset.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
I didn't hide it, I just didn't point
It's
it
not
out.
that I hid it. It's just...
Ah. So I'm trying to figure. So this right here is either Byakuya or Toko, I think. Thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000%
Okay, I hate you.
convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Oh, Kyoko. Okay, I feel like we're gonna have to grab something.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Okay, hold up. There's established the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed. Means the knife was thrust through the coat into the body.
The knife we found lodged in...
Hold on. Okay, let's look at two things here. Exploded body. That doesn't matter. The stage body, is that what we're looking at here? Before the sprinklers turn on, the suspect... So, what I'm thinking right now... The knife's not the murder weapon, right? But I don't want to miss something. I've only got 3 hearts. The gave to Makoto thing is fine. I can't do anything about that.
It really is, isn't it?
The only other choice of something to shoot.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once?
I have to shoot the thing that says that's what's killed her.
Killer?
Right?
Well,
getting stabbed is what...
Yeah, okay.
No, that's wrong.
We have no reason to believe that. And could that knife have gone through all the way? That seems pretty harsh for a knife.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Correct.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until
Correct, so the
after
knife had
they
to go
were
in
dead.
after the fact.
Okay, fine. So what?
There would have been blood all over the coat.
So, when we discovered the body,
There's also no blood on the knife.
the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what
But
killed her.
Kyoko's gonna throw us on the bus again and say, well, you could have just pulled the knife out and stabbed her again.
Maybe you stabbed her twice.
Okay,
Once
maybe
to
not.
kill her and once to cover it up.
Victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. This had been stabbed a single time with a knife. Okay, that's pretty important.
I got it.
I didn't remember
the
that.
Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
Okay.
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
Now we're getting somewhere.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
I'm starting to think... I'm starting to think Toko did it, but I don't think that makes sense. Because how could Byakuya, like, I don't think she'd go against Byakuya or do something that would kill Byakuya, right? So could Genocide Jack have killed it, rigged everything else up? Okay.
Oh, hey, I have a question.
We'll figure that out here.
It kind of goes back to the beginning, but...
I'm just trying to figure, if she had done something, if she had killed it, the going back and forth between Toko and Genocide Jack and losing memories between is what throws me off. Because they would have needed to get the bomb from the body to the bomb from Monokuma's, where they had in the gym, to the body. And the only person I felt like that could have done that was Toko. But she would have had to have the foresight to take the bomb with her. Which doesn't make sense if Genocide Jack was the killer. So unless Byakuya is the killer and told her to do it, so, okay.
What's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
There's a bad ending I can get during this trial, where if I get it wrong, like, I'll have to load and replay the entire trial, I'm guessing?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
I might be
no.
dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. We know that that's a... Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, Francis' dead body. There we go.
I got it!
There we go.
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma.
Okay.
It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious
so,
by the minute.
I feel like it's Byakuya. Because he was acting strange, kind of. He kind of changed the way he was doing it, but he's like actually steering things. He was kind of pointing it towards Kyoko and me, but then like every time we correct him, he's like, okay, that makes sense. Which is also kind of out of character for him.
They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
He is throwing shade a little too much.
I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me.
Okay.
What really killed her?
Really quick, before I jump into the next piece, I've been drinking too much water, and I really gotta pee. So I'm gonna go AFK for 2 minutes, use the bathroom, and come right back. Because I don't want to get into a spot where like it's tense and pee my pants. So I'll be back in just a second. Alright. Put that back up. There we go. Carlos, since you missed the beginning, like the first thing I said, like when we got back in the game, I was 90% sure, I think it's either 90 or 95% sure that the dead body probably was Kyoko. And if it wasn't, it was probably her that killed them. So I'm hoping I'm wrong here. I think I'm gonna be. But I just really felt like they were gonna finally pull the trigger on it. Okay. Where were we? Oh, wait.
Fine.
Really killed her?
I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It
Okay.
won't change the facts of the case regardless.
I need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Honestly, right now, I don't know what killed the victim. I'm lost. A little bit. I feel like, well, hold on.
Then,
There's a single, this just said single stab wound. Dead before the blast, single time with a knife, which went completely, had been stabbed with a knife, which went completely by. It doesn't say that killed it. Okay.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The
Correct?
explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Correct?
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that,
What?
the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was carved, and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. Oh, well, see what happens when you don't scroll down? Okay, she also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. I completely didn't remember that, and I never scrolled down to look. Okay. Hold on. With an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Are those old battle scars? Or is those like she had been tortured by Genocide Jack for days or something? Okay, let's go back through this again. We got 13 minutes to figure this specific one out. Only leaves.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
No.
And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file,
That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was
hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was kind of... This is gonna be wrong again. We don't know the fatal thing, but I feel like I used this to shoot
Then, shall we continue the debate?
this immediately.
The victim's
fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Oh, come on.
The explosion
It
didn't
got
kill
blocked, didn't it?
And it wasn't because of... Then there's only...
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered
This
countless
is probably gonna be
wounds
wrong
across her
anyway. I'm just gonna be angry.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's
Fatal injury has...
Okay, no, it was right.
No,
Okay,
that's wrong.
okay. I didn't even remember she got hit on the back of the head.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
But if you look in the chapter listing, it says there's 7 chapters. So how can it be that close to finishing the game? And there's 2 more chapters after this one.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The
No, they're all
Monokuma
old.
file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a...
Well, we never looked at any
metal
like the
pipe.
garden hose or the pickaxe or anything.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe.
Wait, that's dumb.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well,
We never looked
maybe
at
they
any
held
like
it the
thing
other
about
way
that blow to
and
the back
hit
of
her
the
with the
head.
handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power.
How thick's the titanium arrow? I take that back. The thing shows 7 I wonder if one of the chapter selects is like the free, the school life. I wonder if it's that. Because it shows 7 chapters in the, when you go to chapter select. No, because like right now I'm in, unless I'll show you after. But like it shows me 3 blank ones still left. After chapter 4 there's 3 lines of question marks. Unless it's 3 lines of question marks and I assumed Maybe it's 2 lines of question marks, and I assumed 5 was already showing when the chapters don't show until it's complete. I'll take a look. Oh, prologue. Okay. Were you talking about a prologue or an epilogue?
I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
So titanium arrow is the weapon. Kyoko said she can get into every room, including her own, so she could have put the key back. Okay, something weird.
Scoop out
Something's
that
weird
nasty
here.
brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed
If
her,
we
right?
blame
It just so
Byakuya, though,
happens we
Toko's like gonna
already
kill
know.
us. That's gonna be troublesome.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the
I'm
real
glad I
murder
just figured
weapon.
it out. What was the dot 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 from Kyoko there? And the bloody duct tape in the locker. I still don't...
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
It does sound kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master?
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. There is? I mean, the woodblock key is important, but so's the bloody duct tape that's in there.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe.
A bundle.
Right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master. You have no right!
It'd be a bundle of arrows, right? Just that titanium arrow wouldn't be nearly thick enough. Which is why they used...
The titanium arrow.
Oh, arrows.
It was in the dojo
Locker, I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound
Well, it said the weapon must have been about it. It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Hold on.
Talking back to Master.
Okay, I want to make sure she didn't say... I went too fast, and I goofed myself up.
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, 'cause in the
went
Monokuma
early.
file, it said the weapon
went too
must
early
have
again.
been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master. You have no right!
Literally, I clicked once, and it held for whatever reason.
The titanium,
Maybe
it was in the dojo.
maybe I
have
held it for
no
like a
doubt.
quarter second,
You don't sound
and it just locked in.
'Cause it said the weapon must have been about as thick. It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Apparently, it's not that it's a bundle of arrows.
Shoot!
The titanium arrow. It was in the
Oh.
dojo locker, right?
Oh, come on.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound
Well, it said the weapon must have been about as. It seems like an arrow would just be.
They were duct taped together. It's the same. It's the same piece of information, just presented a different way.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape.
That's how I almost lost earlier, because I was doing rationale. I don't think you had hopped in yet. I had already figured out, no, the time they could have been murdered before 7:30 because of the sprinklers, but I had to prove that because the sprinklers come on at 7:30, they had to have been killed after 7:30, when really I already knew they were killed before and we had the tarp to cover it up. So I lost 3 hearts because I was ahead of the game.
The killer probably
And I cheated
uses
and looked it
duct
up
tape to bind
to
multiple
see
arrows together.
that's what they wanted me to do.
Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe.
Also, pipes can be many different thicknesses.
And that's
Just gonna
exactly
point
what
that
the
out too.
killer
You
did.
can have a very thin pipe.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks.
Okay, Togo, you're being weird.
One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong.
You're
it's
being
meant
weird.
to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder
Okay.
weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
See, he's making incorrect assumptions, which makes me think it's him.
I've never been to the dojo.
Makes me thinks. Ugh.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
You took her key.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer.
No, I'm not gonna protect you, you
You
jerk.
know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Shut up.
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I got you. I have evidence. Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. It must be connected to that dojo locker. Except, she doesn't have her key. I mean, she technically has a key that can get in every door, right? But we don't need to point that out.
Right here. The key to the dojo locker.
Which he went and planted in there, and then we went and found it.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your
Yeah, but you're about to
room.
roast us again by saying I didn't have my key.
In my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb.
Point out you didn't have your key.
Is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit.
Dude,
you can't
she doesn't have a
explain
key.
this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not
Oh.
this again. You really are
They're
dead
gonna let me
set
do
on
it.
defending
Yes.
her, aren't you?
I thought she was gonna be like, hey, you took my key.
No, it's not that I want to defend her.
I do
It's
want to
just-
defend her.
There's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something.
Were you in my room last night?
Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
Ooh, oh, this is gonna be. I don't know if I'm prepared for this.
I was just
Oh,
protecting you.
oh. Come on, buddy, you knew that was coming. She was protecting me. Then does that mean she? Oh, I wasn't ready for it. She knew I was being attacked. She came to my rescue. Could that be when? Do you mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Did she actually do it? I'm still no.
Wait,
No, she didn't do it. She didn't do it. We're
I'm
fine.
warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I'm assuming if you pick her, then
I
you get
knew
bad
you were
ending.
stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't
Yes,
do
because
it.
we know he did it.
Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Yeah, because she know better than anyone. What does that mean? Make my argument.
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
Uh-oh.
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Wait, Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said.
I don't know where I'm supposed to shoot here, though.
I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Okay, we gotta be careful.
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Okay, the locker key in her room is the proof. But she had a key to get into her own room. We figured that out.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Except she would have. How'd she get into my room? She used the key. The skeleton key.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I feel like Byakuya planned this. This is a really big oversight. So he needed... Okay, I pointed this out a long time ago. He planned the bomb in the body because he knows Kyoko's the one who does the body examinations. And he needed her to touch the body and blow up. Because then she wouldn't have been able to point out that she didn't have her key or something, but then she would have gotten blamed for the murder, which I don't understand. It's kind of weird logic, but I think that's what he was going for. He put the bomb in the body so that Kyoko would get blown up by it. I would think.
I see. So that's
what goofed him up.
And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in.
Am I gonna point out that she told me that she does?
Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's... Okay, I am gonna point. No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. Try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? Is she playing? Okay. Is she playing me? Because her putting it in there would prove that she's fine. Like, well, I couldn't. Oh my god. Because I couldn't have done it because I couldn't have put it in there because Byakuya had the key. But why would she tell me that she has a key that can open every door? Okay, so she did it, but she knows like the solution to the mastermind and the mystery and all that, and we need to kill ourselves so she gets away, so she can get that information out there. Is that what she's going for? She wants us to die so she can get the information out there. I feel like she's playing me. I can't. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. Mastermind's trap. Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko. But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trap. Victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. You spent all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide. Oh. Can I save? Just in case? But I guess if I... Oh, man. Oh, you're killing me. I'll pick the last option. Just book out of here. I feel like this is the wrong decision. I feel like this is the wrong decision. Logically, game-wise, I'm feeling like this is a wrong decision. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. I believe she would, though. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the mastermind trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal?
Oh.
Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact?
I know it's the wrong one.
I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a...
You! What are you trying?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I
so
was
like,
with
it's
you
not gonna give
guys
me the bad ending
time.
right away. No, it wouldn't let me save.
I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find
Oh, he's gonna throw me under the bus. I missed a fall like an hour ago. I apologize. Cogwhistle, if you are still here. I never heard it pop up. I apologize. That was a while ago. I'm sorry. But, hold on. Oh god, I just accidentally... Oh, okay, I thought I closed the stream for a second. Is accusing her, like, following the line, throwing her under the bus, is that actually the bad ending? Okay, someone could have the key. Okay.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
I do. I do.
Wait a second.
Can I point out
You've
the
got
option
it all wrong.
that I've said a million times
Let's
before?
think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you?
Sure.
Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial.
So if you accuse her, it's the bad ending. See, in my head, I thought this was going to be the bad ending, and I was going to do it anyway. Because I believe in Kyoko.
And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Whoa, 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 time's up. Time is up.
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over!
You can't do that.
Everyone can stop talking now!
You're not allowed to do that.
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up.
Kyoko, you
Since
gotta
when have
save
we-
me.
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay?
People are gonna vote for me, though.
Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you.
Voting time?
B. I got a B in there. Ugh. Only 76. That's bad.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
What's happening here? I'm gonna get voted, right? Maybe I did it. Did I do it? And I just don't remember? What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
They didn't get it right. I'll check out the other ending at some point here. Got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills, kills!
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
What? What? I don't know what's happening here. I'm so lost. Kyoko.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Okay. Do I play as Toko, or do I play as, like, Kyoko the rest of the game now? I mean, I've said, like, at the beginning, I don't know if I don't know if people are actually dying or if this is just like a simulation. This execution's kind of boring. I'm in class. I'm gonna get smashed by the weight of expectations. An after-school lesson? I came here wanting school, I guess? Okay. I guess that's true. I did keep asking why are we in school if there's never any classes. Okay. That's interesting. We didn't die. Alter Ego just saved us. We're still falling pretty far though, aren't we?
What?
What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Oh yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego? Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planned it when he invaded my network. Damn it, all the hell, I don't believe this.
It
seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. Excuse me, it was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit in a way that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. See, gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now it's a mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. I don't understand anything. The massive high school towers over all other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable, a government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop in the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. We're starting the game over. There are two things you need to attend this school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do, not wearing some kind of role here. The only way is if you're scouted by the school itself. And staying there at the gate of the elementary school for the elementary students was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't a classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Gah. Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then, I was awake. Was it just another dream? Dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there until I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. That's serious, look there. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. I don't think that's how computer viruses work, but that's okay. But I can't give up now, for myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First step was to start looking for a way out of there. Well, there's a big old door. Hey look, come on. That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. It's a plane. That's like that one up in the school's garbage pit. There's a desk. There's a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. Anything else? Nope. Okay, let's go to the door. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. So, the trash room is just an incinerator, right? There wasn't a chute that she could drop me down the key to unlock here. So I look around for some food. In the garbage? There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. I mean, there's a rocket and a tank. You would think. Next, I search for some water, but the water's rotten. How can I be sure which ones I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides, but that's still enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was Go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. For, like, you can survive without food and water for a week. How long has he been down here? An hour? I can't be sure, but I think at least one full day had to have passed. Okay. One day. All I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, it wasn't a sign. Yeah. Typical writing. Not exactly. Go crunch. What the? Strange sound pierced my silent isolation, drawing me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from above. What could it have been? Trash. The giant piece of trash just fell down here? I carefully stretched out my hand towards whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
I was gonna say, is it Kyoko? But how'd she get down in the trash? She found a chute. Giant piece of trash. Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. Oh, she's got noodles on her head. She's got noodles on her head. This place smells awful. Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. You gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then face me again. First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you! I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. I'm the ultimate hope, not the ultimate lucky student. I'll just talk to you. What's up? But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt, or no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. That's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason I had to survive no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. I mean, the rockets from the opening cutscene. I didn't look that carefully at it, but... So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did once. Once? Till recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory, that's impossible. Amnesia. And is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing, you're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too. And when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. You're saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. If what you said is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it, just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? Mastermind, one of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around here. I guess if it is one of us and it's not Kyoko and she just doesn't remember it because she's the mastermind, she wiped her own memory, I'd throw Hiro under the bus at this point, and that he's just been playing really dumb. Because it doesn't make sense that it would be Byakuya. It doesn't make sense that it would be Genocide Jack or Toko. It doesn't make sense for Hina really to me either. It could make sense that Hiro is really just pretending to be that dumb, but well, I mean, we're probably gonna find out pretty soon. In which case, it only makes sense that you would look into a missing memory by yourself.
However,
that being said, there's a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand.
Oh, are we like getting half roasted here?
I should understand everything.
Am I the mastermind? What is happening?
My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Am I just a lonely kid who invented this so people would be my friend? Ugh. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Why are you holding out on her now? Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for your help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Do I keep talking to you? You said you had a reason for doing all the investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to call my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability.
I...
My ability, what everyone should have known me for. Okay, I guessed this a long time ago too. The ultimate detective. The ultimate detective?
Correct.
The reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone. Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father? What?
In other words...
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad. As Hope's Peak headmaster, and that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? Okay. Memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now. Of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
Well, are we her dad? What if we're her dad? Okay. Listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So we went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
Once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So, what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. Okay.
However...
So I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. Then who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. So nobody killed her. So the entire investigation I was trying to figure out who did, nobody actually killed her. And I just got framed for it. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I saw the key and disappeared. In retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah, with minimal restrictions, you're free to explore it at your discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations. Hey. There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Oh no. I could become the victim.
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... During the night. I can hear them, you know? The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway...
It's exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room and saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. I mean, Byakuya really pushed for it to be Kyoko. But, like, him being the mastermind seems like a really cheap cop-out if that's the case. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. It's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything I did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words...
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair. There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think that the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Who's ever responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair. That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're... Indeed. Make no mistake, the root of all the evil that's forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. So if Chapter 5 is complete, and it took less time than I thought it would, because the investigation was kind of short and the trial was kind of short. But if there's only one chapter left... So here's the thing, how long does Chapter 6 take? Because I don't want to go for more than an hour and a half. And if chapter 6 is going to take 3-4 hours, I'm not going to do it tonight. I'll have to do it Saturday. I legitimately, if it's a 3-hour, I can't. Like, I've got stuff I have to do early in the morning. Like, I legitimately, if it's going to take another more than 2 hours, I can't play it. Like, I've got responsibilities I have to take care of in the morning. So if it's going to be 2 hours or less, I'll do it. If you think it's longer than that, then I will have to hold off. I mean, I can go a little bit past 90 minutes, but if it's over 2 hours, I can't do it. Okay. Yeah, if it's longer than 2 hours, then yeah, I'm going to have to push it, and we'll have to do it on Saturday. And then Saturday, I'm assuming it's going to be Friday or Saturday. I'm assuming Saturday. So, I mean, how long is the entire chapter? Because I don't want to get to the trial and then have to do a whole bunch of refreshers. If it makes more sense to just do, like, knockout... Does the final trial take that long? Because I'd rather just do, instead of another hour now, and getting to, like, all the different stuff that's going to happen, if I can knock the entire thing out in 4 hours on Friday or Saturday, I'd prefer to do that. Because that makes more sense in the grand scheme of things, rather than get to a cliffhanger that's going to kind of mess me up. Because I would definitely prefer to do it all in one spot. Because if it's going to... If the entire thing takes like 4 hours, which I'm guessing that's what it's going to be, I'll just aim to shoot it. This ends up being a short stream. So I'll just do the entire chapter those nights and just assume if it's going to take 4 to 5 hours, I can knock it out in 4 to 5 hours. That won't be a problem. Because I can run long on Friday or Saturday. I just can't run long tomorrow. I got early morning meetings that I don't want to be exhausted for. Alright, so let's get to a spot where we can save, which is right here. And then so the whole plan is we're about to start chapter 6. So we will hold off here. I was really worried this was going to take a long time. This actually sets me up pretty well because I completely forgot to. I meant to edit a video to go up today for Throne of Lies, and I completely forgot to do it last night. So this will actually give me time to do it tonight before I go to bed, which is kind of handy. But we will shoot to do the entirety of chapter 6. Finish out the entire game besides the school thing, which we're not going to do. Either Friday or Saturday, kind of the same deal as last week. I'm assuming it's going to be Saturday. But I've got a buddy who like really wants to go out one day this weekend, and I'm trying to figure out which day he wants to do it. If he wants to do Saturday, I might just switch it to Friday, at which point I will just go ahead and probably do 8 p.m. Friday and just play until it's finished. If that's the case, I'll try to let you guys know either tomorrow or Friday early in the day. And then, I mean, otherwise the VOD and I'll throw it on YouTube will always be available. But I guess we are going to go ahead and call it here. Much shorter than I thought it was going to be. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I want to thank everyone who did come out, did check out us doing this investigation and the trial. My misleading video title, stream title, I assumed Kyoko was going to be dead. Turns out she's not. Turns out she's actually the key to solving this. She's still going to die at some point because they're going to screw me like that. They're going to do that to me. But, we'll figure it out. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. I will see you again Friday or Saturday, whichever it is, to just roll through the rest of the game. But, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the stream. And as always, please have a great day.